another episode on Adam's Karting. This is a sort of a late update. I do apologize for that. I didn't mean to have it late. It's just I ended up uploading the previous video early because I uploaded a video on Sunday, which was late, and so then I thought, to make up for being late, I'll upload another one early. So I uploaded one 3 days afterwards, and then it got to the Sunday, which was last week, and I completely forgot because it was the end of the last week of school. I'm now into the school holidays. And so because of that, I completely forgot that I had to film. I realized at about 3 a.m. on Monday morning, or 2 a.m., whenever it was very, very early on Monday morning, I realized that I had completely forgotten to upload, and I was like, oh, shoot. Um, so yeah, here I am now. Sorry for being late again, but the result of being a little bit late is I do have a lot to talk about because, and this is the main thing, I have been really, really productive recently. The main reason is because I'm on school holidays. I've been on school holidays for a week now, exactly 7 days. Because of that, I haven't had to worry about, the main things, like on that video I was talking about, was it last video or 2 videos ago where, oh, I might have edited that bit out, I can't remember, but I talked about, like, my schedule. I might have edited that bit out so you never actually saw it because it was in the middle of a really long rant, but, basically my schedule was that I had school, 5 days a week, 6 hours a day, and then on every Tuesday, afternoon through to late evening, I had TAFE. So really, I only had 4 days that weren't completely taken up, and 3 other days, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I would go to the gym. So those days would be gone. So basically, it's just the fact that school was taking up 6 hours of every day meant that I really, apart from the weekend, I really only had one other day that I could work on the go-kart, which was Thursday. Thursday was legitimately the only day except for the weekend I could work on the go-kart. So during school time, where I only had 3 days a week max to work on the go-kart, that did make it really, really difficult. Now it's school holidays. I've graduated from my TAFE course, so I'm officially able to start an apprenticeship next year, which I will be doing, because that is going to be the start of my journey to being where I want to go. Making money, getting into the profession of mechanics so I can learn more about cars to then get a bit more of an advantage. But then the fact that I don't have school 6 hours, 5 days a week, means that I've had 6 hours, 5 days a week of extra time. And the other thing as well is that the gym that I am going to is in the middle of a renovation. So I'm just doing like a little bit of my own sort of home workout stuff at home while I wait for the gym to reopen after the reno, so that way I can go back there. So basically what I'm trying to say is I have all the time in the world right now, and I'm really capitalizing on it. So it's been 10 days since I uploaded my last video, and I have so much to talk to you about. So the first thing is that the power valve, I recently got all the parts that I needed to assemble the power valve properly. So I have taken it out and put it back in a couple of times, mainly to just have a look at the condition of it. But this time I took it out again. I think this was the second or third time I'd taken it out. And then I replaced the bellows. So I'll attach a photo of it in the edit, but there's a green circle basically. And that green circle is called a bellow, and that is part of the mechanism that makes up the whole power valve system. And so I was able to replace that. And then what else did I replace anything on there? No, I think it was just the bellow. Actually, no. I replaced the gasket. The gasket for the power valve. I replaced that as well. So I replaced the gasket and the bellows and the power valve, and I put all that back on, and all is well now. It's completely done, finished, all good to go. The power valve now works properly. All is well. The other thing is that I also what was it? I sort of rehearsed this a little bit. I went on my camera roll and looked through all the photos, and I was like, okay, what do I have to talk about? And I've completely forgotten. So please just bear with me for a bit. Yeah. So I did the power valve. Oh yes, the brake disc. The old brake disc that I had was, I mean, the old one. I may attach it in edits, or you could go and maybe find it on an older video, like a much, like right towards the start of my channel, about 3 months ago, whenever it was. Where the brake disc basically had a chunk missing. It was a triangular chunk that was missing, and the result of that was that I would not be able to take that out on track because there is a chance that the brake disc could shatter, and that would extremely badly hurt me and anyone who's close behind me. So it's like taking down two birds with one stone with this brake disc, which is not good at all. Like, there was no way I was going to be able to get on the track with my brake disc looking like that. So I bought a new brake disc, but then when I put it in, there was a 6 month dilemma of the fact, and 6 months because I just had no idea what the hell was wrong with it. I spent those 6 months basically constantly thinking about it, trying to figure out what on earth could possibly be wrong with it, because I'd try this and that and something else, and yeah, I'm not going to make this whole video about that, so I'm just going to move on from it, because there's good news on it. But basically, the brake disc, I tried so many things to try to figure out what was wrong with it, and it just wouldn't work. It kept on scraping on the left. In fact, yes, I do remember this was in an older video, so you could check out, I think it was the last video I made when I was still outside before I came in here, the previous video to that, maybe? I can't remember. But basically, the video that I made where I did talk about the fact that the brake disc was crap, and then another video that I made when I was in this setup, I think it was the first or second video that I made in this setup, where I said that it was all fixed. Well, literally the next day, it started scraping again, and so it wasn't fixed anymore. And I was particularly disappointed because I thought I had finally solved it, and it didn't work. So recently, literally the only thing left that I could possibly think of was to replace the brake carrier. I was like, oh, I don't know what that's gonna do, but it's the only thing left that I haven't tried. And so I did it. I bit the bullet. I bought a $250 fully magnesium brake carrier and attached it. And what do you know? For God's sake, of course, it stops going up against the left brake pad now. So, and that happened, when was that? That was on Friday. So literally 2 days ago, I fixed that. And it is actually good this time. I've got a video of it. I'll attach before and after of it scraping and then it not scraping. And yeah, so it's all gonna work seamlessly now. It all has. I've tested it. I've got it on video. So if it messes up again, I have it on video that for at least a 4-second clip, it did work. So I've got my proof that it did work at one point. But I'm pretty sure it's gonna work. I've been spinning it around way more than I did the other time when it looked like it was gonna work and then started scraping again. I spun it way more than that and it hasn't done anything. So I think it's actually fixed now, which is awesome. I'm so happy about it. The other thing as well that I did is with the fuel pump, I took off the fuel. I don't remember if I talked about this in an earlier video, but I might have. But I took off the fuel pump and I had to wait for 3 gaskets to ship over to me, and they finally did. And so I put those 3 gaskets back on. There's a very specific order that you have to do it. So I got that order, I put it on, all as well. I put it all back together, put it in, and then immediately following that, I reattached all the fuel lines. So previously with the fuel lines, what was happening before, the fuel lines were really dirty. They had dirty fuel stains on them, on the inside, obviously, not the outside. but they were also really elasticy. And the mechanic, when I took it to him at the very start of the year, he took off one of the fuel lines to sort of like check and see if it was good. And literally, like those lolly snakes that you can buy at a local supermarket, he literally just pulled it and then it just broke in half. And then he looked at me and he said, "That's not supposed to happen. You need to replace your fuel lines." And finally, the fuel lines that I ordered have shown up, and I cut them all to measurement the way they're supposed to be, and it's all the correct measurement now, and it all fits seamlessly. It's all done. All the fuel lines are done as well, so literally, I could go and pump fuel into the engine tomorrow, and it might start. The only thing that's stopping it from starting is the fact I haven't attached the exhaust yet, and I also haven't attached the airbox either. But literally, those are the only two things that would stop it from starting at this point, which is awesome. I think that's everything. Those are three big things, and yeah, it might be like, well, only three things. You've been away for 10 days and you only got three things to talk about. These are three big things. The brake disc has been a problem that has basically been like on my shoulders ever since I first bought the freaking go-kart back in March of this year. Ever since then, this brake disc has been a problem, ever since March, and it's finally completely done in October. That's a long time to be focusing on one thing. I mean, I haven't been purely focusing on one thing. I've got a huge amount of other things done. But the fact that the brake disc is finally done means that I have so much more that I can do because I'm not constantly worrying about some brake disc that's just messing up constantly. The only thing, actually, that I just recalled is that when I was tightening one of the bolts on the carrier, I did over tighten it, and it did snap in half, which is a problem. I'll attach a photo of that in edit as well, where basically I over tightened it. It was either over tightened or I stripped the thread. Basically, there was a loud cracking noise, and I was like, "Oh God, what was that?" And then I took the bolt off, and it came off in two pieces. So yeah, I gotta go order another one now. As soon as that shows up, I'm gonna put it straight in, and I'm gonna retest the brake disc, make sure it's all seamlessly gliding in between the brake pads with no contact and no noise at all. All be well, I hope. And then that'll be it. So then I just got to put the exhaust back on, reattach the airbox for good measure. I could start it without doing that, but you may as well put the whole thing together. What's the point of leaving the airbox off the carburetor when it literally takes about a minute to put it back on? I may as well put it back on. And so, yeah, once I put the exhaust back on, actually I do need to put there's like a exhaust mount, and then there's also a couple gaskets. Once all that's on, and I put the exhaust on, and then I put the airbox on, and I pump fuel, and I prime the system, it's probably going to start. Fingers crossed. I'm like, touch wood. My desk is wood, so I can say, touch wood. All is going to work, and it will start. So that video that I made, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, that I said that the engine might be able to start soon, completely disregard that. I was excited because I started to actually get some work done, and so I thought, maybe it'll actually work. And then the musical happened, and so my work went shooting down. If you don't know about the musical, it's in an earlier video where I talked about it. But yeah, so then my work level went shooting down. I was barely getting any work done at all. And so then the following week, I had to upload a video, or 2 weeks later, that might have been the video that I was late because I was so tired I forgot about it. Where I basically said I've basically done nothing. I've been investing everything into the musical, and so I've pretty much done nothing. I've done like one or two small little things. The engine's nowhere near being close to even being started. But now that I have been working, now I've been working on the go-kart for hours every single day, and this holiday has been going for a week, and I've been working on this go-kart for, been 6 days, I think? Literally the only day that I took off was today. Or did I have yesterday off as well? No, I'm pretty sure I didn't. So, yeah, I've been working on this go-kart for, I think it was the least amount of time I spent on it was 2.5 hours. That was the least amount of time I spent. 2 to 2.5 hours, 6 days a week. And so I've got so much work done. The fact that just 3 things, but they're 3 big things. The monstrous problem, the brake disc, the fuel pump, one of the essential things that I need to start the car, and fuel lines, which are also a necessity. Basically, I've done 3 necessary things to get this go-kart to start. And so as a result, I'm a lot closer than I was even just 1 week ago. Like 1 week ago, I was not even in the same ballpark as starting. Now, there is a very good chance that, and I know I said this last week, that like, oh, maybe a week from now or 2 weeks from now, I might be able to start the go-kart. I reckon, and I'm going to extend it, I'm not going to be cocky like I was last time. I reckon, give it a month at the, I don't want to say maximum, but like on the upper end, towards the maximum amount of time is a month. I would say absolute maximum, a month and a half. So about 6 or 7 weeks. Give it 6 or 7 weeks, and this go-kart will be started. I can almost guarantee you. Seriously, that's how much work I've been getting done. And I know that may seem like, oh, that's a long time from now. It is a while from now, but the reason is because the only reason I'm giving myself that much time is because I don't want to be cocky like last time and then have to upload a really sorrow video where it's like, yep, I let you all down. I said it was going to be started, and it's not started. I'm not going to be doing that this time. I'm giving myself way, way more time than I did last time, so that way I can almost guarantee that I will be able to start the go-kart before the deadline that I just set for myself, which is 6 or 7 weeks from now. So yeah, that's basically it. In summary, I've done 3 big things. 3 big things, 4 big things actually. I've completely lost count already. I've been too invested on the fact that I might get the go-kart started soon. Like, whoa, no way, again? So yeah, I've replaced the brake carrier, I've done up the fuel pump, and I have done up and I've put new fuel lines on. So I reckon, I know I said 6 to 7 weeks, but I reckon the reason I just gave myself that extra time is because I don't want to be cocky. In my mind, I'm thinking a month from now, surely, there is a chance that I may not get it started by then. But I've got a feeling that it's going to work. I've got a feeling it will start, and it will roar, it'll purr like a kitten once again for the first time since we bought it. Because the guy we bought it from started it to prove to us that it worked. And yeah, so for the first time since March, it will start and roar once again. So yeah, that's all for this update. We'll try my absolute hardest not to be late next time. And yeah, I'll see you all in the next video. Bye, everybody.